drummer Jim McCarty put together a band called Reniassance so they could experiment, fusing classical music with folk, jazz, blues, and rock. The original lineup lasted only 2 years before turning over in 1971. Since then, the band has been headed up by Annie Haslam, whose incredible 5-octave voice has been the perfect vehicle for their fusion melodies. After almost 4 years off the road, Reniassance were back in Toronto, kicking off the Canadian leg of their North American tour. We caught up with them in rehearsal, where they were going through tracks from their new album, Camera Camera.
Photogenic model of time, a picture of hell that real gold mine. Lovely to look at and lovely to hold, the spirit that's broken in our hearts and eyes.
In the course of their 10-year history under Annie Haslam, Reniassance has been steadily building an audience, but it's one that never really has broken above the level of cult status. They hope to change that with the release of their new album and their association with police manager Miles Copeland. I asked Annie how the band became associated with Miles.
I was going out with him, wasn't I?
It was through an agency. He also had an agency.
Yeah, we were first with the agency, which was the John Sherry agency, and we were signed up to John Sherry. He was our agent, and we had another manager at the time, didn't we? Yeah. Yes, John Michel. And we decided to leave him, and then I started going out with Miles, and Miles signed us up. I don't think it was for that reason, you know.
How has the music changed since the early days of Reniassance? Back then it was a classical rock, folk, blues, whatever, fusion.
It's more condensed, I think, really.
Yeah, the songs are much shorter. Before, we used to sort of express ourselves in 10 or 12 minutes, or maybe even longer. We even did a suite once, one side of an album, which was 25 minutes, you know. When we got together to write songs, basically John and I got together to write for the new album, we just found that we could express ourselves in 5 minutes or 4 minutes.
And I sing twice as fast.
Annie, it seems to me that Toronto is almost a special place for you, because didn't you start your singing career here in the late 60s?
Oh, at the Brunswick Tavern, yes. That was my debut.
How did you wind up at the Brunswick Tavern on Bloor Street?
I was here on holiday. I was here for a month. My brother was living here as a graphic designer, and my mother and father and I came over for a holiday. He lived on Isabella Street. And he took us to this Brunswick Tavern, because I think it's quite English, isn't it? There was quite a lot of English people there, and I think Mum and Dad were feeling a bit homesick, so we went there. And they had a talent night, and unfortunately it was that night. I think it was downstairs at the tavern there. And my mum and dad said, get up and sing, and I'd had a couple of glasses of this. They were all drinking lager, big glass of lager, with salt and things. I've never seen it done before. Anyway, I had a couple of those, so I was a bit tipsy. And I got up and sang a song called Those Were the Days that Mary Hopkins did. And I sang it off a great big piece of cardboard with the words written on it. But I won.
Were you scared?
I was drunk.
Why